somebody left a new review on Apple Podcasts. So thank you to whoever that was. I appreciate it. It was a 5-star review. They did say this is a low effort podcast, or something like that. That's not the exact words. I can't argue with that. This is the lowest amount of effort you could put into a podcast and still call it a podcast. If you want to leave a review, great. I appreciate it. If you're not a review person, don't force yourself to be somebody you're not. I've never reviewed a podcast. I can't really expect you to. So do it, don't. It's cool. And maybe I'll see it. I should have remembered tomorrow. Maybe I'll remember the person's name, and if that's but it's not like your real name. It's like your Apple Podcast name. I don't know what that is. So just thank you. You know who you are. Also, I want to say tip line is open. Chris at chrislaker.com. If you have any news tips, they can be fake, really. If you make up a story, I'll read it. I'd rather it's real. If you work inside the government, some leaks, I'd love a leak, like inside information that you're not supposed to, and then I get deposed. If I get, that would really boost the level of this podcast. It's already the most listened to podcast in the world. But if I get deposed, then it might really be like the most listened to podcast in the world. And then I go in front of Congress and say, I'm not giving you my sources, but we're going to put you in jail. And I say, fine, I'll go to jail. And then I go to jail and I say, hey, I actually, did you want to know that source now? Because, this is not going to work for me. It goes against my journalist. I'm not really a journalist. I'm a comedian, actually. I do a comedy show. I ran out of ideas and started reading the news. I'm not held to any ethical oath or anything. No, I'll stay in prison, actually. It'll be better for the podcast. Do better numbers. And then I'll have to do, instead of recording into my iPhone, I'll have to record it into the prison phone. It'll have to be a shorter show, obviously, because there's people waiting to use the phones. I can't just sit there for 10 minutes going through the news. And I don't know if I'll have... they give you a tablet, right? They give you some... I don't think it's an iPad. It's probably like an Amazon Fire. That's what prison is like, having an Amazon Fire tablet. I mean, I don't have an iPad. iPad is is a thing for beginning of life and end of life. It's for children and old people. And I feel like once I get an iPad, I'll be crossing over into a new phase of life. So now I'm putting it off. I know you use it for creative purposes. I'm not saying you're old because you have an iPad. You know if you're old or not. It's a state of mind. It's also age, but it's a state of mind. If you're old, some people, they say I'm old, and then okay, so you're old. They'll say they're old at an age that some other people might think, oh, you're not old, but they identify as old. Some people want to be old, which is smart to want to be old, because that's inevitable. You're going to be old. To want to be young makes no sense, because that's fleeting. It's over. To chase youth is insane. I don't think that I'm young. I'm absolutely not young. I'm just not ready for an iPad. I'm not going to use the Apple Pencil. I don't draw. So, okay, I'm going to get to the news now. I almost said, let me get to the news, which I try not to say, because I'm the one between me and the news. And let me get to the news infers somehow you're stopping me, which isn't the case. Meta legal action forces Facebook whistleblower to sit in silence at Hay Festival. I don't know what the Hay Festival is, but there's a whistleblower. See, if you're a whistleblower, you email me. I will protect you. I won't give you up. So if this Meta whistleblower wants to contact me, I will say anonymous source, not the person that has to sit in silence at this Hay Festival. It doesn't sound like a great festival if there's people from Meta there speaking, and then the one person who can't talk is the one you want to talk. First of all, any festival where there's see like Meta people speaking. That's not a festival. That's a conference. Festivals have bands, so I'm not buying this Hay Festival. But yeah, please contact me, whistleblower, or yeah, anybody, anybody who works at Meta. Get on Chris at chrislaker.com. Colorado, sorry, I got a call. Colorado sees increase in whooping cough. I didn't even get that far in the sentence. I didn't know I was going to talk about coughing, and I coughed. So, but okay, Colorado sees increase in whooping cough cases after dropping to pandemic era lows. I'm sorry, I don't see whooping cough taking the headlines away from Ebola and well, there has been a drop off in the hantavirus headlines. So maybe whooping cough has a path to being the new. Hey, everybody, watch out for that now. There needs to be a cruise ship with a whooping cough outbreak to really get out there. Because Colorado, I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not going to Colorado. Cruise ship, well, am I never going to go on a cruise? Well, yeah, I'm not. But those cruise ship people, they're everywhere. Fired North Carolina police officer charged with assault after video shows him repeatedly punching black woman during arrest. At least the cop was charged with assault. Uh, I've been beaten up by cops on a few occasions. They weren't cops at the time, but they were kids who later became cops. That's because I lived on Staten Island. In my experience, everyone who I knew as a kid or in college who became a cop was, I'm going to say, had anger issues. One dude didn't, but he was incompetent. I think he got fired. He became, I don't want to get into his history because I don't know exactly what happened, but I know he got into some trouble. Not for anything. Not for hitting anybody, though. He was just bad at his job, which I guess punching a woman you're arresting is also being bad at your job, but not, it's a specific way. So this officer's fired and charged with assault. You don't get prison time for assault, do you? Maybe you do. Well, if you assault a cop, you do, but a cop assaults a person, I think that is not. It should be like worse. Like you hitting a cop, which you should not do, should be not as bad as a cop hitting you. But should's got nothing to do with shit. So it's not that way, of course. South Korean Starbucks boss apologizes for ad campaign that evoked massacre. I'm sure it was in bad taste, but I love this guy. He's going for it. I mean, he apologized. He wasn't fired. He's taking chances. All right, let's grab attention. There is a competitive market, coffee, and you're in South Korea. Do you really want Starbucks? There's probably like local, like chain that's better. That you're like, hey, this is more. But then the South Korean guy's like, hey, remember this massacre? I don't know what massacre it was, but. I would have got my attention. I'd say, I'm going to Starbucks today. They are unhinged. You don't know what's going to happen over there with these ad campaigns. Malaysia enforces ban on social media accounts for children younger than 16. That sounds reasonable. That won't happen here. That's why Mark Zuckerberg is like wearing the gold chain on Joe Rogan and saying, you know who's cool? You know who's like Donald Trump? I know we banned his Facebook account. I was such a fucking dork then. I would never do that now. Everyone should have access. Doesn't matter who you are or how young you are. You know what I'm saying? Got to hook them in early. If young people don't have Instagram accounts, how do they know if they're popular or not? They don't have a follower count. Do you really want to live in a world where kids don't know how many views their reels get? This is real. A real thing that happened like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago or something. It doesn't matter. Why am I trying to nail down the amount of weeks it was? I'm walking in front of a group of kids. They sound like they were like 14. And one of the kids was like, yeah, he's like, your reels don't even get any views. He's like, my reels get views. And then he like pulls out his phone and he's like saying, oh, see, this one got 50 views. That's pretty good. This one got, he's like, well, this guy got 15. That's not normal though. And then and that's how he knew how he felt about himself. Like how I get my self-worth by being the largest podcast in the world. That I know how good I am. We're all going to be content creators, so start young. American kids will be way ahead of these Malaysian kids that can't start until after they're 16. Okay, one more story, and then I'm going to go. Let me see. As Pentagon pushes for battlefield AI, some military leaders urge caution. Well, no caution. Caution's over. We're going full throttle, AI and everything, and let's see if it kills us. It might, but let's find out as quickly as possible because young people, they're booing AI at all their college graduation like speeches, all these commencement addresses. Someone brings up AI, they get booed. A couple people are saying fuck AI, and then they get cheered because they understand. But they're all ready to get rid of AI. If we don't get in there now, we might not ever. They might kill it, and then we would never know if AI was going to kill us, and we'll always wonder.